Hey everyone, welcome to the Thursday edition of I Hate It Here. My name is Erika.
I'm Marissa.
And thank you for hopping on the Hot Mess Express.
All aboard. Welcome to the Hot Mess Express. Choo choo.
All right, guys. So I had like a whole agenda of what we were going to talk about in this like first little segment.
Yeah.
And then Marissa and I started going off about other shit.
And now
I forgot what we were going to talk about. Completely. And this is why we need to... Like, we had a little notes app that we would share back and forth on things that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And then we did it for, like, a whole week.
Maybe two.
I'll give us that. Maybe 2 weeks that we actually used the notes, the shared notes.
Yeah.
Of what, like, to talk about these first 15 minutes. And then we stopped doing it.
Yeah.
And then look at me with my great memory. I'm like, what were we going to talk about? And Marissa can't remember for shit either.
Nope.
But... I mean, one thing that I can bring up is that we were talking about when we first sat down, or when you got here, I should say, is that this year has gone by.
Oh my God, it's
flown by. Cannot believe that we're already in fucking September. And then...
mid-September at that.
Oh, mid-September. You're absolutely right. And so I was thinking, and I don't know how corporate... I started thinking about corporate, right? But I was just like, holy fuck... 2 years ago, during this time, was like every September, I should say.
Yeah.
August, September, and October, and November, working for that company were so fucking rough for me.
Yeah.
I cried every September for 4 years.
Yeah.
Because it was so stressful and so mean. I would cry at least once every September.
Mm-hmm.
And look at me. Look at me this September.
Haven't cried. Going
lap swimming, going to the gym midday. Just living my best life out here, guys. No nervous breakdowns. No twitchy eye. So out here just living my best life.
Yes.
And thank God, because honestly, like, I don't know if I would have been able to survive another year like that. That was crazy. And if anybody has stressful jobs like that, I am so sorry. It was to the point that I was working 16 hour days, maybe.
Yeah.
Sometimes, especially in September.
Yeah.
Which
is why we would always take off.
Oh yeah. During AMP. We would
take
take off the whole month of September.
Because it was crazy for both of us. Because that's really go time for both our areas. And we were running... Yeah.
No, I mean...
Running and gunning.
Working from home, but you would wake up, get on the computer, or wash up and all that shit, right? Then get in front of your computer, and I don't think I would log off until 8, 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd get a fire drill, and then have to sometimes jump back on.
Yeah.
On the weekends I would work. It was crazy.
Me too, yeah.
It was crazy. So I just got to remember these things and be grateful.
That I'm not where I was.
I know.
2 years ago. Yep.
So if you guys are in that stressful situation, God bless you.
Yes.
But I don't know what I was going to talk about. I still can't remember.
I can't remember either, to be quite frank.
Well, okay. How are things going with you then?
I mean, it's a change, right? So again, I lead a team of teams. So I lead multiple departments, and it's one of those things where you just, I've really just said, fuck it. It is what it is. You guys will get whatever I can give you, right? Which is, how it should be. But, you get stressed out, you get work, and I've had to, hire and backfill roles and do a whole bunch of things. But now that, I've backfilled all the roles, it's just now that training time. It's training people to do the roles, and mentoring and all of that good stuff. So it's busy, but definitely not where I was a year ago.
Oh yeah, you were still in that environment.
I was still in that environment a year ago. So, it's definitely not where I was. Still busy and still crazy. My boss is
erratic.
She's a very erratic person. So, but not in a bad way. That's the weirdest thing, is that she's erratic in, you're talking to her and having a conversation, and she goes all over the place.
Uh-huh.
and you're just sitting there going, what the fuck are we talking about right now? Because she goes into like one thing and then another and then another, but there's no stopping the conversations to finish it. Like she's talking about, this morning there was a lot of traffic, and then back at, my place in, 10 years ago when I was working here, then I got hit in the traffic, and then I was doing this. Like, she bounces around like crazy. So you just sit there and you go, okay. Like,
well, at least she's erratic and not malicious, right?
Yes, because she's not malicious.
Because we've had both erratic bosses that were super malicious.
Absolutely, yes. So, it's just dealing with that. And again, being a leader of leaders, there's always bullshit. There's always bullshit that you have to deal with. And
managing people sucks ass.
It really is. Because I wish I could tell these people, like, fucking get your shit together. Like, why am I talking to you about this bullshit? Because it's petty, stupid things. Like, oh, this morning, so-and-so didn't say good morning to me.
Oh, fuck that.
And that's how it was.
Oh.
So I had to I said, listen, if I hear about anybody I want anybody fucking saying good morning now. Nobody gets a good morning.
Everybody keeps their mouth shut.
Everybody keeps their fucking mouth shut. Because if we're going to complain, then I don't want to hear it. So because they're like, oh, this bitch is not playing. And so they've kind of like, it's gotten better, but it's stupid shit. Because they're young, too.
It's petty.
It's petty stuff because they're super young. Oh. So these are teams of super young people where this is like their first official big job.
Oh, fuck.
And stuff. So, they take a lot of shit personal.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, bitch, move on. Cry it out in the fucking restroom like we all did and move on. Like, but it's like, I want to talk about my feelings. And, do you think it was personal? I'm like, no, I don't.
Which, by the way, guys, is super fucking funny because in all our jobs, well, I mean, Marissa and I only work two jobs together, right? So, but in both like jobs that we work together, for some reason, people always want to come discuss their feelings with her. They want to bare their like soul to her and just like,
yes.
And I don't understand why. You're not very welcoming.
I am not. That's the thing, guys, is that I am not welcoming at all. I have a don't fuck with me face at all times.
At all times. You're not the person bringing in fucking coffee and donuts and wanting to do group activities.
Fuck no.
You're the person that's like,
leave me the fuck alone.
I'm walking straight to my cubicle.
Yes.
Nobody look at me.
Yes.
Nobody talk to me.
Uh-huh.
Like, fuck off. But yet, at the facility, when we were there,
yes,
people would always go to you and want to, like, and cry to you.
Yes.
And then,
which is fucking crazy because I get so uncomfortable when people fucking cry to me because I'm like, stop it. Stop it.
You, like, hit them on the head.
Exactly.
I'll give you something to cry about. And then, oh my God, and even more so at corporate.
At corporate, yeah.
That we were recently at.
Yeah.
Especially in the very beginning when you brought on that little team that was working internally.
Yeah.
Every fucking day you were in one of the like meeting rooms with one of them crying about
something.
And honestly, it was never work stuff.
No.
It was always people want to tell you their personal stuff.
I don't know why. Because I'm a judgy bitch. I will judge. My face will tell you that I judge. And again, guys, I'm not a mean person, but I'm very intimidating.
Yes, very much so.
I'm very intimidating. Because again, when I'm zoned in on something, I'm thinking about it and I'm, trying to get shit done. So I'm never one to like do the water cooler talk. I have never been one to do that. But I don't know why people just want to tell me their fucking what's happening in their life and cry. Most important, like cry. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Every single fucking time.
I know. I mean, and I want to hear the scoop. No, but I'm very uncomfortable with people crying in front of me as well. So I would not be a great person, but I would like to hear. I would always ask you, like, "What's the scoop?" Why
because I would always like they would come to me. I don't know what it is,
and then I just walk by and look at you through the window.
Yeah,
multiple times.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You know what? Let's get into a song. song, and we will be right back with the crazy stories of the day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, we are back. So let's get into the crazy work story of the day.
All right.
Okay. So the person who wrote in writes, I've been working for a consulting company for 3 years. I am the most senior person on my team after my boss who founded the company. Over the last 3 years, I have lost count of the number of people who have been hired and left in less than a year.
Oof.
Ooh, already, right? Red fucking flags all over that. Expectations are high and deadlines are near impossible, which leads to most people working lots of unpaid overtime on nights and weekends and high degrees of burnout. Maybe this is why I started thinking about corporate today.
I think so. I was like, is this us? Is this story about us?
Last year, one person who quit sent an email to the entire company, airing her grievances about lower salaries and internal ethics. 2 months ago, 2 people quit on the same day. This is only a small fraction of the drama, which comes primarily from the directors.
She said, I'm gonna fucking burn this bridge down. And I like it.
Good for her. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the drama here is being started by the directors, the people who should be managing the drama.
Exactly.
Are the ones starting it. Needless to say, it's been very draining atmosphere to work in, and it has significantly impacted my mental and physical health. I was trying to make it through the end of my current contract, but after I was not paid by my company for over 3 months...
Oh, no.
And witnessed a new coworker be bullied to the point of quitting, I decided that I needed to seriously look for new work. 3 months?
The fuck are you living off of?
Oh, fuck to the no.
And 3 months?
3 months is a lot of fucking money to have banked.
I am fucking knocking on doors. I'm fucking knocking on doors. I'm gonna give you my fucking money now.
Oh, I'm fucking calling an attorney. I'm reporting your asses to the labor department. Fuck no, am I working?
It's a party up in this bitch now because 3 months?
3 months. Imagine.
The day after I was supposed to get paid and I didn't. This shit is happening. What do you mean 3 months?
You're fucking no way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if my savings are that deep. No, they are, but still, why do I want to dig into my savings for 3 months of not getting paid? That's a lot of money. That's your I can't even fathom that, guys.
No.
Okay. Anyhow, after a few months of searching, I landed a new job and I'm very excited. I gave my notice 2 weeks ago. We have a long notice period, 2 months. No, the fuck you don't.
I would have been you can take that from the fucking time that you didn't pay me for 3 fucking months.
How is that? How are you gonna abide by that after all that shit?
Absolutely not.
No, I'm not telling you. First of all, knowing the abuse that happens in that place, I'm not gonna tell you 2 months before I leave that I'm gonna leave in 2 months so that you can treat me horribly.
No.
Even more so than you already do.
No.
Okay, so anyhow, I gave my boss, let's call her Sally, 9 weeks of notice. 9!
That is fucking insane.
And what other job is waiting for you for 9 weeks? Right?
What the fuck?
If you get hired with the company, who's
waiting for you?
Spot?
Yeah, who's waiting for you for 9 weeks?
Anyhow, so Sally has had a rocky relationship with most other staff members, but for some reason, we have cultivated a good working relationship.
Well, because you're the other one that stuck around.
Although I would say she is still abusive.
No shit, it just rolls off your back now. That's the difference.
Right? I was honestly expecting the worst when I quit, as I know she has tried to refuse other colleagues' resignations, but my resignation was received well. We have already hired my replacement, and I've been working on training her, wrapping things up and continuing to manage certain projects until my departure. However, this week, there has been a noticeable shift in Sally's behavior towards me. She started piling additional work on my plate outside of what we agreed upon in my handover note, in which I outlined key tasks that I would complete.
Mm-hmm.
Today, she admonished me for the quality of my work, saying that she felt a dip in recent months and now understood why.
Then I would be like, bitch, I can leave right now. Like, today.
I.e. because she was job hunting and wanted to leave. So Sally's like, oh, now I know why you're doing shitty work. And that she expected that I would continue to give 100% and think about my legacy at that company.
Bitch, this bitch needs to burn to the fucking ground. Fuck you and this legacy.
Like, you can shove that legacy up your ass, Sally. I will admit that I've started to withdraw from internal conversations on team building and morale. I was shocked that they have team building and morale. It's just...
I mean, for what this person's describing, like, these are conversations that are happening. It just...
Yeah.
2 plus 2 is not... That mathing.
No. So perhaps this is where this comment came from. However, I also think my priority should be training my replacement and wrapping things up as much as possible in the next few weeks. I did not engage with her comment. Later, she sent another very long message about how she understands it's normal to switch off to some extent once you land a new job, but my attitude was impacting team spirit and her own workload. I guess it's not her recent demands that all staff work unpaid overtime or witch hunts punishing staff members for not doing a task correctly. She then went on a lengthy rant, calling me and other coworkers robots. I did not engage and answered very non-committally that we would finish our collaboration, quote-unquote, strong. But if these sorts of comments continue, I am unsure how to respond to them, as they are quite emotional and very draining to receive. I would like to finish up my time at my current position well and on a positive note. How do I navigate my last few weeks? If this is even possible with these sorts of comments. First of all, I'm not finishing up those weeks. I've learned how to live without getting paid from this bitch.
I learned how to not be paid for 3 fucking months. Bitch, don't try me.
I can handle a couple fucking weeks of not working for your.
And honestly, it sounds like you need to take those couple of weeks off between jobs so that you can reset and you can start your new job fresh. It sounds like fucking Sally needs to fucking mind her own business and needs to, I'm sorry that you now have to, now you're worried about team morale? Now you're worried about when you've had all these people fucking leave left, right, and center? Get the fuck out of here. No,
so
ma'am.
Crazy.
I can leave today. How about that?
Oh, I would have never even given the 9 weeks.
If I'm in that position where I can financially afford it, and I don't know if there's certain like niche industry that's the standard, right? Or that's a contract, or that because different industries have different ways of working. Mm-hmm. But if it's not the norm, bitch, bye. Especially if I don't ever want to come back to this bitch, I will fucking leave today, and you will know tomorrow.
You think I care about my legacy at this fucking crazy place, at this insane asylum?
And I've been like, bitch, I already got the job. I don't need anything. I'm good.
No, it's not like people are gonna walk by my picture on this wall here at this crap company and be like, she was a legend. She was a legend for fucking hanging in there all
for
those
3 years.
But people are not going to be thinking that. They're going to be like,
nobody's sticking around enough to even know about your fucking legacy. So
exactly,
leave.
There's people leaving in like days and weeks.
Exactly.
Yeah, and those people didn't give 9 weeks notice.
No, they're like, fuck this shit.
That's so crazy, but
you don't manage it. You honestly have to say, listen, Sally. I'm only going to do what I agreed to, and I'm being generous. Mm-hmm. So if you don't fucking like it, I can leave right now. You take your pick, bitch.
I would have never told them I was leaving.
But if you're already committed.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're already committed, it's like I would have just been like, I only committed to this. I didn't commit to anything else. And, it sounds like team morale, that sounds like your responsibility, not mine. Being that this is your team, not mine, figure it the fuck out.
That is so wild. So you guys, let us know in the chat what you would do. If you want to spiral with us on this story, or if you want to go off on your own story.
Have you ever been in a position where you got told that you had to put a long extent notice, or when you put in your notice, how did you get treated? Because I will share my perspective when I put notice at corporate, because that was an interesting ride.
Oh, and that was
an interesting ride.
Yeah. At the facility, when I put in my notice, they were like, okay, it was called 2 hours later, and they're like, we're done. We're going to pay you for your 2 weeks, but you're locked out of everything.
Oh, no, I was told on the call, because I sent in an email, and by the time I got it, HR was on, they're like, yeah, we're going to take it effective immediately.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought so.
Yeah, that's okay. You're still going to pay me for these 2 weeks? I don't give a fuck.
Bye.
Well, anyhow, you guys, let us know in the chat, or if you want to call in and spiral with us. We'd love that. So tap the plus sign, call in, share your thoughts with us, or share your stories.
Yeah,
we'll be right back.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, we are back. Marissa, what is going on in the chat?
Yes, so it looks like people's reactions to not getting paid for 3 months were like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that is
so crazy.
Fucking insane. Lisa said at the first missed check, I would have been out that bitch. Like, what do you mean? The feral one says, I won't be giving any notice to any employer moving forward personally.
Understandable.
And then she had a question: how can a resignation be denied? As we were reading through the story, where she said that that she denied the resignation. I'm like, I don't know how you do that.
I think this fucking Sally is just delusional.
Fuck yeah, she is. And then Lisa says, I can't even tell you how shitty my work would be if I wasn't getting paid. I can't tell. When I tell you that, you wouldn't have work to be shitty, because I would have been out that bitch so fucking fast. So quick to a lawyer.
No, I'll be back when...
No, my ass would have been to a lawyer, like, so fucking quick. Like, no. This is crazy. Craziness. But James from Pedro says, I gave a 90-day notice as well. So that's a 90-day notice. That's 3 months. It was the smoothest transition I ever had between jobs. They tried so hard to keep me, but they couldn't. No bump in pay, so I always had the upper hand if they wanted to negotiate.
James, but my question being, how the fuck did your new company allow
wait for
that?
you?
Yeah, wait for you. Like, that's...
Well, I think that's what he's saying, that, because I asked that. I was like, that's, like, was this, like, a company policy or just a norm in your industry?
Oh.
And he says they played very loose with policy. It was a construction industry, so good people are always hard to find and keep. So
okay.
I guess because he was in this niche, it's so hard to find people that they're willing to make those...
Oh, wow.
Accept those terms, I'm guessing. Tabe says legacy like it's college or something. Right? Like when I fucking die, people aren't going to be like, oh, she did this one thing at that one job. Get the fuck out of here. It's not going to go engraved on my fucking tombstone. Get the fuck out of here. The feral one says, but can we talk about how if a company terminates you, you get no notice?
Absolutely.
But we are expected to give notice 100%. That's why a 2-week notice is a courtesy on your end. Mm-hmm. And that's on the way I have always looked at it, honestly, is if I, for some reason, want to leave a door open in this place, because, you never know what could happen. Maybe down the road, I need, they're hiring, I might be a good fit, whatever the case may be. Then I give a 2-week notice. Or I have benefits that I don't want to lose. Mm-hmm. But if not, bye.
No.
You don't deserve a notice, especially if you treated me like shit. Mm-hmm. You don't deserve a notice. Absolutely. James from Pedro says, people become a lot nicer if they think you might quit on the spot after already giving a notice. I guess he's talking about the pros of it. I don't know. I think...
we have some... Go ahead, Marissa.
I think that if I'm at the point where I've already looked for another job and I've accepted a role, I'm out. I'm done.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Medusa. You want to spiral with us?
Yes, I wanted to say, because before I started dog grooming, I had the worst fucking boss at the credit union that I worked at. And I had already left a crazy boss. Mm-hmm. But the reason I got this job was because it was only a 10-minute drive as opposed to like an hour. So I'm like, fuck it, I can do it. Nobody could be crazier than the one I had before. So when I got offered this job for full time during COVID, my boss had knee surgery, and so she wasn't there, and we were working from home. I felt so bad because I felt bad for everybody else that would come to me for help. And she would never answer the phone. She would never, like, she was just waiting to retire. So I took care of that whole department by myself. And when people found out I was leaving, they were like, no, you know, who's going to help us and blah, blah, blah. So I gave them a 30-day notice. And people were applying for the job. They didn't hire somebody till almost 2 weeks left for me to train them. And I was at that job for 6 years. Oh. And there's for me to train somebody in 2 weeks. The girl who took my position still doesn't know how to block a goddamn debit card. So I've been gone for like 4 years now. And people are like, when I call over there, they're like, oh my God, why did you leave? Like, they still don't know what they're doing. It's a mess. And my boss ended up getting fired a while ago because, I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent, but
no, you're good.
Crazy bosses. She was a fucking bitch, but there was this girl there who went to her desk and said, I'm trying to call you and you're not answering. I need help. And she's like, just put it into my voicemail. And my boss was standing and the girl was standing right next to her. My boss yanked on her hair, and she's like, is this hair real? And that girl that was the last straw with my boss. And she went to HR and she told them that they put hands on her, that she had put hands on her, and they called my boss into the office and asked, you know, why did you do that? And she's like, it was just a joke. I was just playing with her, blah, blah, blah. And she went off at the HR person, and she was in the back room where all the CEOs were, and everybody heard her back there. And so that was it. They walked her to her desk. She got her purse, and they made her leave. And so she had 2 more years before she was going to retire, and they made her leave. So
you don't put your hands on people. What's wrong with her?
No, man. No, and pull her hair.
My knee-jerk reaction, I would have been like, bitch, did that hurt?
Oh my gosh, I'm surprised she didn't. I would have swung back. I always giving her a hard time. Oh my God. 100%.
I would have pulled her hair back. I would have been like, is yours real, bitch? Like,
absolutely. My hand would have been in that hair so fast.
I know.
Oh, hell
so. Anyways, that's one. But I also wanted to call because I was listening to the replay when you guys were talking about bosses that wanted to party with people.
Yes.
Okay, so my boss, when I was at the other credit union, which was a fun one, my boss was probably in his 30s. We were probably all in our 30s. And we partied hard, all of us. There was a group of us of like 8. And we always went out like for broke. Well, ended up, this one girl in the county department had a crush on him. And so she went out with us a couple times. And we were all thrashed, drunk. My friend was working at this place in Pasadena. He was a DJ. He was pouring us drinks. And so we were all fucked up. And there was like 4 different rooms that you can dance in. Well, that girl kept following my boss into all these rooms and like kept trying to hook up with him. And he knew that she liked him, but he kept on kind of putting her off. He was so drunk that when we all left, she said, I'll take you home, and put him in the car with her and took off. And as he's driving past us, you know, he did the V in front of his mouth and put his tongue out at us. No. And so we're like, oh my God, she's going home with him. Like, what's going to happen? So anyways, they ended up sleeping together. Of course.
Like, y'all didn't know what was about to happen, right?
Exactly, yeah. She's like, he's jumping up, I'm taking him home. So they ended up being with each other. And then I think they ended up being a couple times with each other. And she kind of put her hooks in him. And he tried to break up. She got herself pregnant. Now they're fucking married. And
that's the wildest How I Met Your Mother story.
Oh my God. Yes, it was, and they are complete opposites. Like, he never wanted to be with her in the first place, and she was like devastated when they tried to break up, and it was a hot mess. And they're still together, but
he did not want to be with her. Like, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, because he could have been like, bitch, bye.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But he was like, fuck it.
Well, I want to be there for my son, so there you go.
Yeah, okay.
You know, one drunken fucking night, like, eek, right? Like, that's, don't do it, but eek doing it. But he continued sleeping with her and having this affair, so, sir, no pity.
Nobody feels sorry for you in the story, yeah.
Exactly. Oh, And then one time we were all out again when they were together. There was this hoochie at the office, and I caught him and her together outside in the parking lot after we were all drunk again. And I knocked on the door. I'm like, "Hey, aren't you supposed to be with her name? Aren't you supposed to be going to her house?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah." I'm like, so we all hung around that car.
And then he gave you the B sign again.
Oh my god! So he left, and yeah, but
he's like, "I'll be after," and then he gives you the
so crazy, so crazy. He's a little hoe. So
well, not a little hoe. He was a big ass hoe.
I know. I mean, he totally was. He still works at the credit union too. But
he could get into that credit union. He's not gonna stop.
No, he's like,
he's like, "I can't, I shan't, and I won't."
Credit union life is wild.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so funny. So,
I don't know why I'm imagining Medusa and the rest of these credit union people doing blow in like some like back office with people's debit cards. Cutting up lines with like people's debit cards and then mailing them off.
You just wipe it off on the pants and just mail it
in that little envelope and send it off.
That was my other job. But yeah, we would get drunk during lunch and then go stagger back in across the street. So that was as hard as we went. But yeah, we're pretty bad party people. But anyway, yeah. So I just wanted to share. Thanks, ladies.
Thanks, Medusa.
Thank you for sharing.
We appreciate it. Thank you for calling in. We'll talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
So now I will never look at
credit unions the same. I'm like, you dirty fucking sucios.
I already look at restaurants like that anyway. So let's just keep adding more industries onto that list. Okay, do we have more in the chat?
Bankers, who knew? Let's see.
Or should we?
I think we're good. I think everybody was hooked on Medusa's stories and the wild turns that took. So
okay, because we have a quick update on this story.
Okay.
So not quick. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oof. Okay. So the update for the story is: after I wrote to you, things continue to go downhill with my now former boss.
Mm-hmm.
This only scratches the tip of the iceberg in terms of how banana pants things got during my last few weeks. But this is going to give you enough of the picture, I think.
Okay.
During my notice period, I took a week of vacation. It was already pre-planned before I gave notice.
Okay.
When I came back, I discovered my boss had decided without consulting me that I was going to lead research for a project I was still managing in a very unstable country that had recently undergone a coup d'etat, scheduled the week before I was due to move back to the U.S. for my new job.
What the fuck? This bitch is wanting to fucking...
Sending her out of the fucking country.
And not even, to, an unstable country at that. She's, fucking hates you.
She said you were, a war zone fucking...
I know.
That's crazy. It will not surprise you that my former company did not have any safety or evacuation protocols in place. Okay,
no, we gathered that fucking much.
And then now I get, she's in a very particular, niche,
yeah,
job that giving...
Industry
giving that type of notice, I guess, is necessary.
Right.
I told my boss I was not comfortable going to this country, nor was I willing to travel during the remainder of my notice period. In response, she gave me the silent treatment and then reported me to HR.
What the fuck are you going to do, fire me?
That's what report me all you want, bitch. I'm out of here. I know, Marissa and I were
I'm like, okay.
We're stunned in silence. In response, she gave, during the conversation, the head of HR repeatedly tried to convince me to travel to this country, as well as tried to trap me into bad-mouthing my boss.
Why can't Bosco? So she's still there.
And you don't need to trap me to bad-mouth this fucking cunt.
Absolutely not. I will do that shit for free, and you better believe I'm going to be doing that shit for a while. So.
I'm doing it after I'm out this bitch, too.
So.
I told them that they did not understand the concept of a notice period, which is for wrapping things up and handing things over. After 15 minutes of extremely circular conversation, I told him if we could not find a way forward, my last day would be tomorrow. He immediately backed off and went, no, you don't need to leave tomorrow. Likely because they were so understaffed and desperately needed me to finish the work I had outlined in my handover notes. After the meeting, my boss denied approving my handover note, which she had agreed to the date of my resignation, and stated it had to be a living document. After this particular comment, I added a list of every single task I completed during my notice period, including links to all the documents to prove that I had, in fact, done quite a bit of work during this time. After this incident, my boss tried publicly bullying me, stating that I had intentionally slowed down the timeline of the aforementioned project to avoid traveling. When this did not work, she gave me the silent treatment for a week and only communicated to me through her assistant, which I honestly preferred. She changed her tune and started being quote-unquote nice to me when someone else on our team made her angry a few days later. After this, I more or less checked out of work as I figured she was going to badmouth me, even if I worked 60 hours a week and I preferred to start my new job rested. They did try to short my last paycheck by $1,000. Luckily, I kept detailed records of everything related to my remaining PTO days and confirmation from HR the official last day. I did actually receive my last 2 months' salary in full, and my former company paid every other month, and they paid every other month. Red flag. So they were unstable in the payment and the
financial department.
Right? I have been at my new job for about 4 months, and it has been a really nice change. My work-life balance is much better, and I actually look forward to opening my laptop now. The work is challenging and fast-paced. I work in a humanitarian/development field, but my new boss is very supportive, and the team I work with is actually really great. I'm actually learning things and feel like I'm making an impact versus managing someone's insanity on a day-to-day basis. And then it's like blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah, just
talking
updates
about her.
Oh, wow.
But, I mean, what did you expect from a crazy person like that?
I'm just like, I would have not given that much notice because she's mental. Like, she's got issues, and you know this.
Well, the thing is that it's in that industry, it's courtesy to give notice that way. She did it. But once she started getting mistreated, that's when I already gave you my notice. I'm fucking out of here.
Fire me, bitch.
Yeah. Okay, tomorrow's my last day, or you just don't show up the next day and be like, I'm done.
Yeah.
You don't continue to
put yourself in a position to be abused. Absolutely.
Absolutely the fuck not. But
that's
trying
wild.
to send her to a fucking war zone and shit, like, that's crazy. No, thank you.
This bitch was like,
kick her out of the country.
This country's not big enough for the both of us bullshit. But it's so funny because Daydreamer says she was working for the cartel. She was a drug mule.
I mean, I think the cartel would probably have treated her better.
Depends which one you're on. But I was like, right? This sounds like an episode of Narcos with fucking HR involved. That's it. With an HR department. It's wild. I just, again, even if it's the industry, when you're already secure in another role and why would you put yourself in that situation to deal with this crazy person? And you should have expected the craziness because you've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, I don't know. She's just got a lot more patience and professionalism that I do not have. But that being said, let's go to a song.
And we'll be back.
Yep. All right, guys, we are back. And I have to read this quick story. I know that our hour is coming up.
Yeah.
But this one is really crazy, and I am so, like, let me just get into it. Okay. So this is the life horror story of the day. Okay, so it starts with, my house is being built in a neighborhood that's a few years old. Okay? My lot is one of the few remaining lots that are occupied, and there are occupied houses surrounding mine. Okay? The exterior is basically complete, and the contractors are in the process of putting up the drywall. Okay? After work the other night, I decided to drive out to inspect the work. Everything looked fine until I decided to check out my garage. Okay? So when I opened the door, I saw 2 cars and a minivan parked inside my garage.
What the fuck?
I called the contractor to see if he knew anything about them, and he was as perplexed as I was. My guess is that one of my neighbors decided to park their cars inside my garage because there was a slight chance of hail that night. At first, Marissa's face is like she's ready to go out there and start fighting my neighbors.
I'm lighting this fucking whole neighborhood on fire. It's trash. Throw it away.
At first, I was just going to leave it alone, but the more I thought about it, the angrier I got. By the time I got to my car, I was steamy mad, so much so that I called a tow company and had them tow all 3 vehicles away.
As you fucking should.
The next morning, my contractor called and told me the police were there to investigate the theft of the vehicles. I had them put the police on the phone, and I explained that I was the owner of the property, had the vehicles towed, and gave them the tow company information.
Uh-huh.
My contractor told me later that the owners of those vehicles were shouting and cussing them out until the police made them leave. I went by after work, and a guy confronted me about being an ass for having their vehicles towed. He was shouting about how I ruined their day because they missed work and their kids were late to school as well. He said it cost almost $1,000 to get all 3 vehicles back, and that I'll be covering the cost.
The fuck I will. Why are you parking up in my shit?
I told him good luck and that he's the ass for parking in my garage without my permission. We went back and forth until his wife came and pulled him home. Some of the other neighbors came to watch our argument, and afterwards some of them told me I was starting off on the wrong foot and should apologize to the guy.
I've been like, fuck you and him. How about that?
They said that I should be more neighborly and understand that neighbors help each other out. One said that I should have left a note instead of having them towed. It seems all my neighbors are against me. I can see their points, so maybe I overreacted. I'm not sure. I'm saying fuck to the no.
How dare you fucking... how dare you put your cars in my garage when my cars haven't even been in my garage? Absolutely fucking not. And where's the neighborly courtesy of fucking asking? Because if you were to ask me, I would have been like, sure, not a fucking problem.
You've never even met this neighbor. You're going to go park your 3 cars in their garage?
And it's not even 1. 3 fucking cars. How many fucking kids you got? First of all, there's just so many questions. If you've got enough money for 3 cars, then you could have fucking figured out your own fucking space for them or figure it out. If I know, even at that, if you're in a bind and you don't fucking just open someone's property, put something in there that belongs to you, and then walk away. You wait and you say, hey, does anybody have this neighbor's contact information? How can I ask for permission?
Isn't that so fucking wild? And the fair one put it, this is exactly what I was about to say. The fucking audacity.
And I just fucking know that this is, I'm sorry, guys, but I know this is a white man. I just fucking know it. I know it in my heart. I feel it in my soul.
I don't even understand. Again, what makes you think that you can open the garage? How do you go in there?
How do you trespass into someone's property and be like, that's totally fine. I don't even know this person. I've never even met them, but I'm going to just I'm just going to use this because it's my need and it's right there and it's easy for me and convenient. Fucking clean out your garage.
This is so wild. I am so mad for this person. I am so mad that the fucking other neighbors are like, you're starting off on the wrong foot here. Get the fuck out of here.
I've been like, fuck you and that neighbor.
And they're lucky it was not Texas because guns would have been pulled out.
Oh, fuck yeah. I would have fucking fought the whole neighborhood.
But you know what I would have actually done? Well, I mean, towing is a good thing, but I also probably would have slashed
the tires. 3, not 4, because 4 the insurance covers it.
Yep. So 3 tires off of each car. And then they'd have to explain why the fuck. They'd call the cops.
I would have called the cops immediately. I would have called the cops. This is my property. These cars don't belong to me. I need them towed.
I would have called the cops after I slashed the tires.
I would have done some damage.
No, actually, I would have slashed the 3 tires on each car, and then I would have let them the next morning come over, see their cars, and then what are they going to do? Call the cops? Well, they probably would have because they're that
stupid.
Deranged.
Yeah.
And then the cops would have to have called him, and he would have been like, what the fuck are they doing on my property anyway? That's trespassing. That's, yeah, no.
That's insane.
Yeah.
The fucking audacity.
Yeah. And they could have pushed that little car out on their own. Those little cars down the street.
Lisa's laughing because she says that I need to slash 3. I'm not going to say how I know this, Lisa. I just know that I know.
Well, it's also like a given fact. But yes, if you're going to slash somebody's tires, you only slash 3.
I read all the paperwork, Lisa. That's what it is.
You don't slash the 4 because then the
insurance covers.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's just funny because I know this by heart. I think that's what she's saying.
Lisa Bonet just walked into the room. She's like, "Yeah, it's only 3, so she knows too."
It's a given fact, guys.
Because we're for the streets.
100%.
Ghetto ass bitches over here. We know this. Anyhow, yeah, those are the stories, guys.
That is insane. But before we go, I want to read out what Gerardo, Daydreamer, put in the chat.
Uh-huh.
He says, I'm actually okay with the neighbors because of the hail possibilities.
Fuck to the no.
But I wouldn't be pissed if we were towed. This happened to us kind of. When our house was being built, the neighbor was parked in our driveway when we came to inspect the building. I tell me more, because I don't know how you're okay with this. I'm not okay with this. Now I want to fight your neighbor for parking in your fucking driveway. Like, the audacity. To me, it's like, how dare you use something that's not yours without permission?
So let me tell you, we had these great neighbors who moved out, and so a new person came in, bought the house next to us, and did like a whole remodel on that house, and it was like months on end, right? And then, but he was introduced to us by the old neighbor. So he was like, they're great, blah, 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 whatever, right? It made introductions. We were on friendly terms. And my sister was like, whatever you need, we can help out. So I think like one time he was like, can I park? Like, we have like service trucks coming in and can I park on your driveway? And my sister was like, yeah, sure. And he just started doing it all the time. Which is fine, but now you're blocking us in sometimes. And now I'm having to fucking go to your house, chase after you to come out, move your fucking car so I can get out. So that, I mean, we gave you permission, but I think like that one time. No, like he was parking up on our garage and...
But at least you met him first.
Not in the garage, in the driveway. But at least we did know him, and I was still annoyed with that shit.
But yeah, but at least you met him. It's not like some fucking rando's fucking car. You just fucking pop in and like there's some rando car in your fucking driveway.
You know what they could have also done? I'm like, oh, you were scared. I would have slashed the 3 tires and got in a fucking hammer and hammered the roofs of their car and the hoods and been like, oh, hail got in here somehow.
What do you know? We need some roof work.
You were worried about the hail out there. Ooh,
yikes.
I don't know how I got in here.
But James from Pedro says, I'm crazy. After slashing the 3 tires and pooping in the trunk, I would have changed all the radio presets. But that's just me.
Radio presets.
And I was like, I'm taking notes. I was like, and you also mess with the seat preset.
Oh, shit. Do you have somebody else calling it? Daydreamer. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you fucking mess with all the mirrors, with all the seats, all the memories in there. Now your day's fucked up.
I mean, that's if you have keys and stuff.
It depends. No, because you can move them manually.
Oh, well. Daydreamer, what's going on?
Hello?
Hey, I got my AirPods on. Do I need to take them off?
No,
you're good.
You're good.
Okay. So I'll go back to the first story real quick. My company that I worked for 28 years bounced 2 checks like early in my career there. But I believed in them, so I was able to go through it. But for 3 months, 3 months. I couldn't go 3 months without a paycheck. That's for sure.
No, I'd be scraping pennies to fucking make it.
Yeah.
Honestly, 3 months is a long fucking time to go without getting paid.
My kids eat too much for that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we bounced we get paid on Friday, and all the employees were, our checks bounced, and Monday morning we were all raising hell, and they said, "Oh, sorry," and they wrote us a check literally that day, and we cashed it on Monday, and then they said the following Friday, they said, "Hey, can you hold off on this check until Monday?"
Oh no!
And then. Yeah, I know, right? And then, but we all did, and ever since that time, it's been fine. But I trusted the company. I love the company, so I was able to go through with it, to deal with it. But that was funny.
At least that was only a couple days versus 3 months of not getting paid.
Exactly. I know.
But still, that's a lot of faith, Gerardo, because I would have when they'd be like, "Don't cash it," that's the first thing I would have done.
So, gone to try to cash it.
Yeah.
I got it, no money.
Chase immediately.
All right, so tell us about your neighbor. What's going on with that?
Yeah.
See, I don't believe in starting wars with neighbors, even if they're assholes. I don't stand on my pride, because neighbors can get really crazy, and I'm not going to live my life worrying about my house all the time. But what happened was they were building. Our neighborhood was brand new as well. We had a brand new building built, and our neighbor's house had been already finished, 6 months before ours was. So they had a birthday party, and I used to come to my house every day to look at it because it was on my way home. So I came one Saturday, and there was 3 cars in my driveway. And I was like, "What the hell?" And but they were all outside having a birthday party, so it was okay. It wasn't like they were in my garage, but I don't know. I don't feel that if you're not living in the house yet, and at least your neighbor came and told us that it was them, but.
No, I'm not. I still wouldn't do it. My cousin lives in a neighborhood that's still like a brand new community. It's still being built out.
Yeah.
And when we go over to her house, I'm not fucking parking in anybody's driveway or.
No,
I'm parking on the street.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy that somebody
this driveway is empty. Let me just put my car here real quick.
People have got a lot of fucking nerve up in this world.
I don't know. See, because he's a good person. Gerardo's a good, but he believed in the company. He was like, "It's okay. I will cash the check on Monday."
But hold on,
I will not.
Daydreamer, before you fucking go, I did catch briefly in the chat when you were talking about Marissa in the very beginning of the show, and you said that no, she's not welcoming.
I'm not.
She was very nice to you.
Oh, she's amazing, obviously amazing. But you could see that she has "don't fuck with me" attitude.
Yeah, you've met us in real life.
Yes,
so
you met.
Yes.
You've met me.
That Marissa doesn't give out that person. She doesn't have that personality or give out that attitude of come get her soul.
No, absolutely fucking not. I don't.
No.
Y'all think I'm kidding, but I'm not. Gerardo's my witness.
Yeah. I have no idea why people are coming to bare their soul to you when you give them, resting bitch face all the time. But
no, and then I do the "why are you telling me this" face? I give them the "what the fuck is happening" face, and it's even worse.
And they're like, "Let me tell you more."
I know. Les gusta la mala vida. No,
I know. Well, thank you, Daydreamer. We appreciate you coming in and sharing with us.
Thank you.
A better person on both fronts than I am.
And me.
I mean, I don't know. The 2 days versus 3 months, I don't know. And if you believed in that company, I don't know. Would I have?
I've never believed in a company that much. Not once in my entire life.
So, thank you. And sorry, I didn't mean to extend your show any longer.
No, it's okay. Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, and we'll talk to you later.
All right. Talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, guys. So we are going to wrap up.
Yes.
That being said, Ruby Doobie is up next with Inimitable Pat. So make sure you jump in there. They're doing a new show together. It should be awesome. So we will be back next Tuesday with another episode of I Hate It Here. And then next Thursday, we were going to have Miss Helen. We're going to be doing another episode of I Hate It Here the morning after.
Yes.
We have our dating correspondent, Helen Collin, who is already, like, spilling over with
content?
Content.
Oh, my God.
I had to tell her, I'm like, save it for the show, girl. Save it for the show.
No, but we can't wait to hear from her, what's going on with her, what's happening. There's so many questions unanswered and so many... We just need a rundown of what's happening in her life.
I know. So much happens in her life in, like, 3 weeks.
In a 3-week span, which is incredible. I'm like, dude, I live vicariously through you because what the fuck? I go to Costco and fucking Target in one day and I'm like, look at me go. Look at me go. Living life. While Helen's out there
doing great. I can't even tell you. Like, I will not expose some of the stuff that
No, but yeah.
It's just fucking wild.
Yeah.
And I'm so very much looking forward to this.
I know. I'm like, I'm out in the street for more than 4 hours and I'm like, look at me living life. And Helen's out here going to basements and shit. I don't know.
Right? And then lastly, before we sign off, just a quick thank you once again to Nina Almesser for joining us this last Tuesday for Songs We Hate. It was so fun. She did such a great job. And she will
Such great picks.
Great picks. I mean, she went for, like, bands that people...
typically love, or diehard fans of. Yeah.
She came out swinging.
She did.
And then tomorrow she will be doing her Twitch show.
Yes.
I think I want to say 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you guys go look and tap into her Twitch show. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time. You get a hold of us.
Yes. If you want to get a hold of us because you want to participate in Songs We Hate, or you want to be come on to the morning after and be a dating correspondent, or just talk about anything else with Helen on the morning after special shows, you can always reach out to us. You can DM us here, or you can catch us on Instagram, and our handle is
at IHIHWHS.
And that's for the work-life horror stories for the morning after. The Instagram handle is
IHIHTMA.
Or also, if you want to share a story that you don't want to call in and narrate yourself, but you want us to narrate it for you, feel free to send that in. Whether it's you wanted to read it anonymously or not anonymously, let us know, and we're happy to do that as well.
Thank you, guys. And you know what? Let's end with this song. I am going to go see them tomorrow, and I am so fucking stoked. And this is Brigitte Calls Me Baby with Too Easy. Thank you, guys.
Bye, everyone.